Like most of you out there watching this, I'm a big fan of the Terminator and its lore. It's safe to say anything past T2 has seen the franchise fall deeper into a black hole. I've always thought Terminator shouldn't be more than 3 films, and over the years talking to various fans, the answer has always been that the third and last film should be the future war. With how T2 ended, there wouldn't be any more time travel nonsense of X and Y coming back and recycling of the same drawn out story that we have seen before. The logical next step would be to show the future war, which could either be the build up to sending Reese back in time, or showing how humans actually won the war. The first option ends a nice loop, with the added mystery of did humans actually survive, and the second idea just gives a complete conclusion to everything. There's plenty of room for exploring characters in the future. How are humans surviving living like rats and even hunting rats themselves? Everyone is at the end of their ropes, ready to give up. That haunting picture of kids watching a TV, simply on fire to give them heat. Humanity is about to get wiped out, but somehow find the tiniest bit of hope to fight back. Terminator Future War should be just as the last part of its name suggests, a war movie. There's many examples of good war movies that you could draw templates from. Saving Private Ryan, Platoon, and Apocalypse Now are just some off the top of my head. I feel like Terminator should return to having some sense of realism and threat, as the more recent movies, especially Dark Fate, have become too bombastic with action scenes that would feel more at home in a Fast and Furious movie than in a Terminator one. The sense of danger and any real stakes is evaporated if your characters could survive such nonsense. You can still have great action scenes without going over the top. I think most people would like to see John Connor leading some kind of squad across the future terrain against the war with the machines. It could be a Band of Brothers kind of thing, and I know with how Hollywood is right now they would want to force some female into it, but I wouldn't have a problem at all with any female soldier. In fact, I'd welcome it, as long as you make her a good character and not some forced SJW type. I actually thought Grace in Dark Fate was a good character, and I wouldn't have a problem with someone like that fighting alongside John Connor. You may have noticed me using certain clips. I have purposely only been using Future War clips from T1 and T2 because those are James Cameron's original vision of what the Future War looked like. Other Terminator movies have shown Future War clips, but they changed the aesthetics I feel to a more glossier Apple Future kind of look, seen with something like the Tom Cruise sci-fi film Oblivion, which there's nothing wrong with depending on what type of feel you want to give your movie. It's just I feel Cameron's aesthetics fits the future setting the best, and it's not just about having purple lasers. The future war scenes from T1 and 2 depict a dirt, gritty, dark undertone of a savage world with humans getting their hands on whatever weapons they can use, old or new. I may have mentioned James Cameron, but I would not have him direct another Terminator film. He has long since creatively checked out of the Terminator universe. His mind is fully focused on his Avatar movies. There's just no space for Terminator in his mind anymore, and for him the story ended in part 2 anyway. I instead would go with a director that could emulate James Cameron's style and give the respect back to the Terminator franchise that it deserves. I believe that director should be Denis Villeneuve. This man has directed some really great films, with most notably for us cyberpunk fans will be the sequel to Blade Runner, which while not a massive box office hit, I think most fans did enjoy. At the time of making this video, he's currently working on Dune, which again is another classic series. Obviously I can't say if his vision for that film is good or not, but my gut feeling is that it will be. He has experience in handling 2 iconic 80s movie franchises. I would have the most faith in him if he were to direct a new Terminator film. Since I'm fantasy casting, it begs the question, who could play John Connor? Well, you could have Michael Biehn come back. He is after all John's dad, so of course they would look alike and could play John Connor himself. He's the only main actor from the good Terminator films that they haven't brought back yet, and will get fans on board I think. The other person could be Norman Reedus from Walking Dead fame. Given his performances in that show, I think he could make a good John Connor. Given the franchise state after Dark Fate, it's hard to imagine any Terminator movie getting greenlit for a long time, if at all, and some might say good, let it rest in peace. A third movie might still perform poor, even if it had all the ideas I've mentioned, because the fans' goodwill has been worn away over the years. So failing a movie, then why not a streaming show? We are after all in the streaming wars era. A high budget TV show with say 12 episodes or more that shows the future war we've all wanted. That would give great room for character development and world building. I mean, me personally, I love to see a third movie to wrap things up, but I wouldn't mind the streaming show as a second option. Either way, the only thing I want to see next out of the Terminator saga is the future war. I hope you enjoyed this video and catch you later.